Hi, you can call me Laura. This is Patchwork Fairy Tales, and you've just stumbled upon a Patchwork Fantasy Snippet. If you want to read as well as listen, check out the transcript linked in the description. The dragon coiled his enormous body, completely blocking the entrance of the tunnel that led to the caves. "No!" he snarled, smoke pluming from his nose. The cheesemonger pinched the bridge of her own nose. "Look, I explained this to you at the start," she tried once more. "I make cheese." "Yes," the dragon agreed, nodding his scaly head. "Then I bring the cheese here." "Yes." "Then you store all the cheese in your cave, keeping it at the perfect temperature and humidity." "Yes." He sounded particularly proud of this part. "And then when the cheese has ripened," she concluded, "I come to pick the cheese up again." A thunderous scowl clouded his maw. "No!" "But that's how it works," she cried in exasperation. "I make the cheese, you store the cheese, I sell the cheese, I make more cheese." She peered up at him. "You do realize I cannot bring you new cheese until I have sold this cheese." The dragon considered this for a moment. "Ah, but what if," he began. "What if you go and make more cheese, and bring me the cheese, and I put it in my cave with the rest of the hoard, and then I keep it there forever?" "No," she said flatly. It was remarkable how much a dragon could look like it had just swallowed a lemon. "You can't keep cheese forever," she insisted. "It will spoil and go bad." "You said it would get better and better," the dragon roared indignantly. "And I take good care of them, with the airflow and the humidity and the temperature." "And that is great," she said, trying to smile through her frustration. "But when a cheese is ripe, it's ripe. Then it should not be kept anymore, it should be eaten." The dragon scraped its formidable claws against the stony ground and sulked. "Look," the cheesemongering business did not tend to require a lot of sweet-talking, but she was making an effort. "I'm sure the cheeses that aged in your cave are the best cheeses people have ever tasted. When they find out how delicious they are, they will want us to make loads more, maybe several caves worth." The reptilian eyes stared at her with disgruntled, reluctant interest. "Several caves?" "If we're lucky. And I could make so much cheese that I could bring you new cheese as soon as I picked up the aged cheese. Your cave would never even be empty." This seemed to strike a chord. The dragon lifted his head a little. "And that would really be much better for the rest of your hoard," she continued with fresh inspiration. "Because if you leave cheese too long, it might go bad and spoil the cheeses next to it too." A nervous ripple went through the beast's scaly body, but he clearly was not convinced just yet. "But what sort of a hoard is it if I have to give it away?" he complained. "Well, cheese is not just any old hoard. It's a developing creation. And you will have a hoard that is constantly developing too. Constantly changing, but, if we do this right, never shrinking." The dragon looked at her solemnly, wavering with uncertainty. Perhaps she shouldn't hold it against the poor thing. It must be a difficult concept to wrap its head around. "And I'll tell you what," she said encouragingly. "If business is good, I can start investing in some really good crumbly cheeses. You can keep those in your cave for 5 whole years." "That is quite a long time for humans, is it not?" he said, sounding a little more cheerful. "Very long, especially when it comes to cheese. Cheeses that have been aged that long are very expensive." In retrospect, she should perhaps have led with that. Gourmand or not, a dragon was still a dragon after all. A glittering, toothy grin appeared on her recalcitrant business partner's snout, and he moved just enough for her to move past him into the mountain. "Tell me more about this expensive cheese that crumbles." She hid a smirk. If you help me carry some of the current ones out, it would be my pleasure. Thank you for listening. I hope you liked this snippet of Patchwork Fantasy. Transcripts, easy streaming, and all the information about this podcast and all my other creations can be found on laurasimons.com. There's another tale to tell some other day. But until then, remember to guard your name and be safe.